Manmohan Singh was born on September 26, 1932 in the small village of Ghat, located in the Punjab province of what was then British India. His family background was modest, his father Gurmukh Singh working as a clerk, while his mother Amrit Kaur passed away when Manmohan was still a young child. This early loss meant that much of his upbringing was overseen by relatives and his grandmother, shaping his quiet, contemplative, and reserved nature. He grew up in a Sikh household that valued honesty, modesty, and discipline. Village life in Ghat was simple, structured by farming routines and the communal rhythms of rural Punjab. Manmohan was a shy and thoughtful child who preferred books to games, reading by lantern light in a time when electricity was scarce. His early years were marked by the disruptions of history as well as the challenges of poverty. When India was partitioned in 1947, his family was forced to leave Ghat, which became part of Pakistan, and resettle in Amritsar in independent India. The violence and displacement of partition left an impression on him that never disappeared. He had witnessed communities torn apart by hatred and migration, and these memories deepened his later commitment to peace, dialogue, and economic development as instruments to heal societies. Unlike many future leaders who came from political dynasties, Manmohan Singh's beginnings were defined by obscurity, hardship, and an unyielding devotion to study. As he progressed through school in Amritsar, Singh's brilliance quickly set him apart. Teachers described him as a boy of sharp intellect and extraordinary diligence, though reserved and deeply introverted. He was not a natural orator nor someone drawn to crowds, but rather a thinker, a man of quiet determination. His academic record was consistently outstanding, earning him a place at Punjab University in Chandigarh, where he studied economics and graduated with top honors in 1952. This was the beginning of a lifelong journey that would make him one of the world's most respected economists. Singh's hunger for knowledge carried him beyond India. In 1957, he won a place at the University of Cambridge, where he studied at St. John's College. At Cambridge, he encountered the intellectual rigor of British academia and the economic debates that dominated the post-war world. For a boy who had grown up in a small village and then seen his family displaced by partition, the contrast was striking. Yet he thrived in this environment, absorbing theories of Keynesian economics, development strategies, and the structural issues facing newly independent nations like India. In 1962, he completed a doctorate in economics at Nuffield College, University of Oxford, with a thesis on India's export performance. This was not an easy journey. Financial struggles were constant, and the challenges of living in foreign lands weighed on him, but Singh persevered with quiet determination. These years defined not only his intellectual foundation but also his humility and self-discipline, for he never saw education as a path to personal glory but as a responsibility to serve his nation. Returning to India, Singh embarked on a career in teaching before entering the world of policy making. He began as a lecturer at Punjab University and later at the prestigious Delhi School of Economics, where his sharp intellect earned him respect among students and colleagues. His transition from academia to public service came naturally, for India in the 1960s and 1970s was a country still searching for the right path to development. He held key positions at the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development and later joined India's Ministry of Finance. His reputation for clarity, honesty, and competence grew steadily. He served as Secretary in the Finance Ministry, Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission, and later as Governor of the Reserve Bank of India from 1982 to 1985. He then became Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission and later Economic Advisor to the Prime Minister. Throughout these roles, Singh was known as a man of integrity, someone who never sought publicity, never raised his voice, and yet whose knowledge commanded respect. He was soft-spoken but decisive in his analysis, often preferring detailed research and quiet persuasion to grandstanding. These qualities marked him out as different from the usual cut and thrust of Indian politics, where fiery speeches and populism often overshadowed substance. The turning point in Manmohan Singh's career, and indeed in India's economic history, came in 1991. India was on the brink of financial collapse, its foreign reserves barely enough to cover 2 weeks of imports. Inflation was soaring, and decades of rigid controls had left the economy stagnating. At this moment of crisis, Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao turned to Singh and appointed him Finance Minister. Singh's response was bold, pragmatic, and transformative. He dismantled the License Raj, a system of bureaucratic controls that had stifled entrepreneurship for decades. He reduced tariffs, opened up markets, encouraged foreign investment, and liberalized trade. These reforms, though controversial at the time, saved India from bankruptcy and set it on a path of rapid economic growth. For millions of Indians, this was the beginning of a new era of opportunity. Yet the reforms were not without criticism. Some argued they increased inequality, others that they exposed the poor to the vulnerabilities of globalization. Singh, however, remained convinced that growth was the only path to lifting people out of poverty. His calm, understated demeanor became the face of India's new economic direction. Internationally, he won admiration as a visionary reformer, while domestically he earned both praise and resistance. But what stood out most was his personal integrity. Unlike many politicians, Singh never enriched himself, never sought personal power, and always projected simplicity, continuing to live modestly, reading, writing, and working quietly. In 2004, following the unexpected victory of the Indian National Congress in the general elections, Sonia Gandhi, then leader of the Congress, declined the post of Prime Minister. Instead, she put forward Manmohan Singh as her choice, recognizing his honesty, intellect, and acceptability across the political spectrum. Singh thus became the first Sikh Prime Minister of India, a historic moment in a country where Sikhs, though prominent, had never before held the highest office. His tenure as Prime Minister lasted a decade, from 2004 to 2014, making him one of the longest-serving leaders in India's history. His government oversaw high rates of economic growth, the expansion of social welfare programs, and landmark legislation such as the Right to Information Act and the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. He worked to strengthen India's global position, most notably through the Indo-US Civil Nuclear Agreement of 2008, which ended India's nuclear isolation and signaled a new chapter in strategic relations with the West. His foreign policy was marked by efforts to balance India's ties with the United States, China, and its neighbors, while his domestic agenda sought to combine growth with inclusiveness. Yet Singh's time in office was not without difficulties. His reserved nature, which had always been a strength in academic and bureaucratic life, became a liability in the rough world of politics. He was often criticized for being too quiet, too cautious, and too deferential to Sonia Gandhi, who remained the Congress Party's supreme leader. While Singh was respected for his integrity, his government became mired in allegations of corruption, including the 2G spectrum scandal and the coal block allocation controversy. Though Singh himself was never accused of personal wrongdoing, critics charged that he failed to act decisively to prevent misconduct within his government. His image as a leader was further dented by perceptions of indecisiveness during crises and by a slowing economy in his second term. By 2014, when the Congress Party suffered a crushing defeat to the Bharatiya Janata Party under Narendra Modi, Singh stepped down quietly, maintaining his dignity and modesty. Even after leaving office, Singh remained respected across political lines as a man of exceptional intellect and unimpeachable honesty. His legacy is complex but significant. He is remembered as the architect of India's economic liberalization, the man who pulled the country back from the brink of collapse in 1991 and set it on a path of global integration. His decade as Prime Minister is viewed as a time of both progress and disappointment, marked by achievements in social welfare and foreign policy, but also by corruption scandals and accusations of weak leadership. Above all, Singh is remembered for his humility and integrity. He never sought wealth or power for its own sake, never raised his voice in arrogance, and always carried himself with the simplicity of a scholar. For many, his life embodies the story of India itself, a boy born in a small village, displaced by partition, who through hard work, education, and honesty rose to lead one of the world's largest democracies. His story is not one of fiery rhetoric or dramatic battles, but of quiet strength, intellectual brilliance, and an unshakable moral compass that guided him through one of the most remarkable journeys in modern Indian politics.